is DRB file number 22937, 206 and 212 West Toledo Drive. The applicant is requesting design review approval for the construction of a new two-story home to replace two existing single-story homes to be demolished. And the applicant is requesting for additional lot coverage, unit size, and building height, and that's why he's before the design review board.
The lot size combined is 21,960 square feet. Without DRB approval, we're allowed a 30% footprint. With DRB approval, we're allowed 35%. We're requesting 33.7%. The residence size versus lot size, we can go up to 50% without DRB approval, which is 10,980 square feet, up to 70% with DRB approval, which is 15,372 square feet. We're asking the DRB for an increase of only 4.2% to 11,906 square feet, and asked that the height be considered at 31 feet 6 inches. 30 feet is allowed without DRB approval. 33 feet is allowed with DRB approval. So what's existing there right now, which was built back in the day, can't be compared to what's being constructed now.
I moved in this house in year 1977. I believe living there. I have invested several $1,000s in remodeling the house. I feel that this big house next to me on 2 lots is too big and out of place. The view I have from my house is a fantastic view, but now in this diagram, which I have seen the plan, there is a cabana that will block some of my view of downtown that it shouldn't be. I am very much concerned that the value of my house will be dropped. After I have invested in my house more than $300,000 on the remodeling and all being by the approval of the city of Miami Beach and all under the law. I am very much concerned about that. I think that the house is a youth house completely out of place in the island. There has not been any house as big as this one in all the island there.
I guess the code allows, obviously you can join 2 properties. You can join 3, you can join 4. There's really no limit right now in the code that limits, and then you basically fall under the restrictions of the square footage of the lot, basically as far as the height and the coverage and all that stuff. That's correct. Okay.
I don't know where we need to go as a city now to maybe implement some tighter restrictions if we don't want to get to all of the houses being like this, because I mean nobody's going to argue it's a gorgeous house. You know, the problem is it meant for Toledo Island, where none of the houses are at this scale.
Yeah.
Line.
I mean, I agree with you, Leslie. I mean, this is an issue where our sort of our ability is limited, and I think anybody that lives in Miami Beach that has been seeing what's been coming in front of our board and the Historic Preservation Board, I mean, these are substantial conditions that are in the laws right now in the city and the code, and if you're not satisfied with what's happening, because I'll tell you what the future of these islands is going to be. I mean, we see it here. You're going to see more and more people buying 2 lots, 3 lots next to each other. You have some of the best views in town from these corners. You're going to see houses bigger than this house, and anybody that has a house that's smaller, your property value, honestly, if it's stuck between a 2-lot and a 3-lot, is going to go down because you only can put so much house on a lot. So this is what will happen unless there's a change fundamentally in the code. We can't do that here. Frankly, for this application alone, all I can do, and frankly what I would like to see the board pass, is none of these adds on here. I'd like to see it stick to the code 30%, 50%, and frankly the fact that it was 25 feet but now it can go up to 30 and you're asking for 31.6, I'm not even happy with 30. So that's all I can do to limit the size of this home, and that's what that's the motion I would ask for. And it's somewhat interesting that you don't have the little drawing that shows the heights of all the, your home and then the 2 homes next to it, Ralph.
It doesn't really matter. I'm within.
That's a requirement of the application. I'm just saying,
But
you know,
I'm,
it's the
I'm
one
within,
thing
I'm,
that.
I'm within my right at 30 feet.
And it's an HOA president, I could tell you that I would have, you know, a real meltdown of my neighbors if we started doing homes that actually went all the way to the back and blocked their view. I think people buy on the ocean for view purposes to be able to appreciate. That's why you buy on the beach, that's why you buy, and you pay more for waterfront.
We're doing the right thing. We're not asking for any setback variances on the cabana. We're not asking for any height variances on the cabana.
But Ralph, the design review board is reviewing the design of the home, all of its components, and its compatibility within the established residential neighborhood context. So the board absolutely has the right to consider whether that cabana is properly placed, is the right size, or maybe shouldn't be there at all if,
Okay.
if they determine that has an
I
adverse
understand.
impact
I understand.
on those other
Sure.
aspects.
I'd like to propose the following. Currently, there's no view from Tony and Anna's house. There is foliage that's about 20 feet all the way to the water. There's absolutely no vision from that side. There's a reason why we have put a cabana there. We'd like to keep it, but what I'd like to offer is something practical. We can shear off a significant portion of the foliage to give him, even with the cabana, a far better downtown view that he currently enjoys today. And progress is happening. But what I can offer Anna and Tony is a better view than they've ever had in these 20, 30 years that they've lived there. No?
Could I ask you a question?
I'm sure.
Yes.
Yes.
You talk about foliage and trees.
Yeah.
Are you willing to remove the cabana?
I believe the cabana is an important element.
You know, it's great. It's a beautiful house, like always. I don't have any real comments regarding, you know, the aesthetics of the house, the design of the house. And actually, your client's comments probably only strengthened, I think, the feeling that no matter what constraints we put on you, you're going to produce something beautiful. So, you know, that being said, I have full confidence that if we asked you to lower the house, you would still come up with a beautiful design. If we asked you to make it fit within, you know, the lot coverage criteria, you'd have a beautiful design. So that's pretty much, I think, where this is going. And I just think it's unfortunate. It seems to be happening quite a bit. You know, we've even seen the statistics today. You know, everybody's asking for more and more, and at some point we gotta, you know, do what we can to make things stick in place.
I don't know how the board.
Can I
feels
get a sampling of what the board's vote would be to allow us to allow our request with the exception of lowering the roof to 30 feet? What would the board's response be to that?
I'm not going to vote for it.
Anybody else not voting for it? You're
I'm not
voting
going to
for
vote for it.
So I wouldn't pass, right?
You need 4 yeses.
Yeah, so I wouldn't get 4 yeses.
Doesn't
But if
look
I
like
wanted
that.
to build an 11,000 square foot home, instead of 11,900, I could. And I could keep my cabana height, and I
Right.
could keep everything else in the house, a full roof used and everything,
You'd be-
without
you-
DRB restrictions.
The lot
You
coverage.
would be
you have to
reducing the lot
reduce,
coverage
too.
by 812
That's
square
very,
feet
very easily done.
And
To
reducing-
30%.
and reducing the unit size by approximately 926 square feet.
Exactly, which is
And you
really
would, and you would
nothing.
only
And
have
there's
10
something-
and a half.
And the neighbors could have gotten something in return. Now they get nothing, and an 11,000 square foot house. So I formally withdraw the application. Thank you.